Hey everyone, and welcome to Conversion Bible. It's your one-stop shop for maximizing those conversions on your Shopify store.
That's right.
And we have a quick shout out to our sponsor, you know, Growth Suite.
Yes.
Growth Suite can help you run, those smart discount campaigns on your Shopify store.
Yeah.
You can test it for free on your Shopify store. Just go to the Shopify App Store and give it a try.
Yeah. Give it a whirl for sure.
Okay, so let's talk data for a sec.
Okay.
Data, it can make or break your business.
Absolutely.
Right? Data-driven businesses are actually 23 times more likely to acquire new customers.
That's true.
And that's not just, like a feeling we have that's straight from the article, How to Analyze Shopify Data to Make Informed Decisions.
Right.
We're diving deep into this today, exploring everything from Shopify's built-in analytics to, advanced strategies that can really level up your game.
Yeah. What's so fascinating about all this is we're not just talking about like raw numbers here. It's really about, translating these numbers into those actionable insights that can directly impact your bottom line. Like, think of it like this. Data is the raw material.
Yeah.
And analysis is the tool that helps you sculpt it into a masterpiece.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So where do we even begin with this whole sculpting process? The article mentions different approaches to Shopify analytics, from the basic reports to custom reports, and even third-party tools. It can be a bit overwhelming, to be honest.
It's true. There's definitely a lot of options out there, but the key is to start with the tools that are already at your fingertips.
Right.
Like those Shopify built-in analytics.
Yeah.
Think of these as your foundation.
Okay.
You can customize the date ranges, compare different periods, and get a solid overview of your store's performance.
Right. The article actually walks us through how to access and configure, those Shopify analytics. It even covers things like customizing the dashboard and managing permissions, which is super helpful for those of us that work with teams.
For sure.
But what about those times when we need to go beyond the basics?
Yeah.
Like when we need to dig a little deeper.
That's when you break out the custom reports.
Okay.
These are your secret weapon for getting those super specific insights.
Ooh.
Let's say you want to analyze, sales for a particular product variant in a certain region. A custom report can pull that exact data for you.
Wow.
It's like having, a laser focus on the information that matters most.
So it's like having your data do the heavy lifting for you.
Exactly.
But what about, those times when even custom reports aren't enough?
Yeah.
The article mentions some intriguing third-party tools as well.
Absolutely. Tools like Panoply,
Okay.
Supermetrics, and Conversific open up a whole new world of possibilities.
Wow.
They can offer, these specialized insights and integrations that take your analysis to the next level.
Okay.
Think of them like your power-ups.
Yeah.
That give you, an extra edge in the data game.
I like it.
But, remember, the best tool is the one that fits your specific needs and budget.
Right.
Don't get caught up in all the hype.
Yeah.
Focus on what will actually, move the needle for your business.
That's great advice.
Oh.
So we've got our toolbox, ready.
Yes,
Now we need to know what to measure right.
absolutely.
The article talks about these essential Shopify metrics and KPIs. Can you break those down for our listeners?
For sure.
I'm especially curious about average order value
Okay.
and customer lifetime value.
Absolutely. Those are two metrics that, every Shopify entrepreneur should have on their radar.
Okay.
Average order value, or AOV, tells you the average amount, a customer spends per transaction. This is like a gold mine for understanding their spending habits.
Yeah.
And finding ways to boost that revenue.
Okay.
Think about it. Even a small increase in your AOV
Yeah.
can make a huge difference to your bottom line.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But what about customer lifetime value? I've heard that's crucial for long-term success, but I'm not sure I fully grasped what it means.
So customer lifetime value, or CLV, is all about, the long game.
Okay.
It estimates the total revenue that a customer will generate for your business throughout their entire relationship with you.
Wow.
Not just one purchase, but every purchase they make over time.
Okay.
Knowing your CLV helps you prioritize strategies to keep those loyal customers, coming back for more.
Right.
It's about building lasting relationships, not just, chasing those one-off sales.
That's a really powerful concept. It's like shifting your focus from, those quick wins to building a sustainable business with those loyal customers that keep coming back for more.
Exactly. And it all starts with understanding their journey on your site.
Speaking of customer journeys, the article talks about customer journey mapping,
Yes?
which sounds fascinating. Can you break that down for us?
Imagine, you're walking in your customer's shoes, clicking through your website. What are their first impressions? Where do they hesitate? Where do they get excited?
Yeah.
Customer journey mapping helps you visualize every step a customer takes. From the moment they land on your site to the moment they hopefully complete a purchase.
Right.
It's about understanding their experience. And by doing so, you can identify any friction points that are causing people to, drop off.
So it's like detective work.
Yes.
Figuring out, where the roadblocks are and smoothing out the path for your customers.
Precisely. Maybe your checkout process is too complicated, or maybe, your product descriptions aren't clear enough.
Yeah.
Identifying these pain points is key to optimizing your conversion funnel and making it as easy as possible for people to buy from you.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And I imagine it gets even more interesting when we start talking about mobile versus desktop behavior.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. People are using their phones for everything these days.
Oh, for sure. And you'd be surprised how differently people behave on their phones compared to their computers.
Right.
Mobile optimization is no longer a nice to have.
Yeah.
It's a must have.
Yeah.
You need to ensure that your site is responsive, it loads quickly, and offers a seamless checkout experience on all devices.
Right.
If someone is, browsing on their phone and gets frustrated with the experience, they're just a click away from your competitor.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So we're starting to build this picture of who our customers are, how much they're spending,
Right.
and how they're interacting with our site.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we know what's actually working when it comes to our products?
Yeah.
How do we separate the stars from the duds?
That's where product performance analysis comes in.
Okay.
The article gives us a handy checklist. Look at your sales rankings.
Okay.
Understand your profit margins. And keep an eye on those seasonal trends.
Right.
This will help you identify your top performers.
Yeah.
But, it also shines a light on those products that might need a little extra love.
So we're not just looking at what's selling, but how efficiently it's selling.
Yes.
That's a really important distinction.
Very important.
But what about those products that are just gathering dust on the virtual shelves?
Yeah.
What do we do with those?
Well, that's where data can be your guide.
Okay.
The article highlights the importance of inventory turnover.
Right.
It's a measure of how quickly your products are selling and being replenished.
Okay.
Low inventory turnover could signal that a product isn't resonating with your audience.
Yeah.
Or maybe, your pricing needs adjusting.
Okay.
It's about making those data-driven decisions about your inventory.
Right.
Rather than just guessing.
So it's like spring cleaning for your product catalog.
Exactly.
Using data to declutter and make room for those products that are, actually performing well.
I love it.
Okay. And once you've identified your top performers
Yes.
and addressed any inventory issues, you can start thinking about optimizing the product pages themselves.
Absolutely.
Ooh, this is where things get really fun. The article talks about analyzing conversion rates, traffic to cart ratios, and the power of product descriptions and images.
Right.
It's like giving your product pages a makeover with data as your stylist.
I love that analogy. And one of the most powerful tools in your styling kit is A/B testing.
Okay.
You can test different layouts, calls to action, even the wording of your product descriptions to see what resonates best with your audience.
Okay.
It's all about continuous improvement, finding those small tweaks that can lead to, big wins.
A/B testing is like having a superpower. You can experiment and see what actually works rather than just go with your gut feeling.
For sure.
But let's not forget about marketing. We need to know if our campaigns are actually bringing in the customers and the sales.
Yes, you're absolutely right. The article dives into some key metrics for analyzing your marketing effectiveness.
Okay.
We're talking about comparing acquisition costs, looking at return on ad spend or ROAS, and even understanding the difference between organic and paid traffic performance. It's about being strategic with your marketing budget and focusing on the channels that deliver the best results for your business.
And I'm sure there's a wealth of insights to be gained from email marketing.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Email is still such a powerful tool for connecting with customers.
It really is. Think about metrics like sales attribution, subscriber engagement, open rates, click-throughs, and even how effectively, you're recovering those abandoned carts through email sequences.
Wow.
It's a whole world of data that can help you refine your email strategy and maximize those conversions.
I can already feel my brain getting bigger with all this knowledge. But before we get too overwhelmed, let's talk about visualization for a second.
Okay.
How do we make sense of all these numbers and actually use them to make decisions?
That's a great question, and it's something that a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah.
The article emphasizes the importance of creating, effective dashboards,
Right.
choosing the right chart types, and telling a clear story with your data.
So it's not just about looking at a bunch of spreadsheets, but actually turning those numbers into actionable insights.
Think of it like a story.
Yeah.
You're using data to paint a picture of what's happening in your business,
Right.
highlighting trends and identifying those areas for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
The better you can visualize your data,
Okay.
the easier it is to, communicate those insights to your team
Right.
and make those data-driven decisions.
Okay. This is all sinking in beautifully. But let's be honest. Sometimes, even with all the data in the world, it can be tough to know where to start.
It's true.
Right. What about, those times when we just feel stuck in analysis paralysis?
That's definitely a common challenge, and the article provides, some helpful frameworks to overcome it.
Okay.
One they mention is the DECIDE model.
Decide. Tell me more. I love a good framework.
Yeah, so it stands for Define, Explore, Consider, Identify, Decide, and Evaluate. It's a step-by-step approach to help you move from, a problem or opportunity to a data-backed solution.
Mm-hmm.
It takes the guesswork out of decision-making.
Right.
And it helps you stay focused on the data.
I love a good step-by-step approach, and I'm assuming there are other methods out there for those of us who like to, mix things up.
You bet they also mention the ODC model,
Okay.
which stands for Objectives, Data, Consequences. It's a simpler framework that helps you connect your goals to the data you're gathering
Okay.
and the potential consequences of your decisions.
Right.
It's all about making sure your actions are aligned with your desired outcomes.
I'm feeling empowered already. This is all fantastic information, and I'm excited to dive even deeper. But before we go any further,
Yes.
let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've covered so far.
Absolutely.
You've given us a lot to think about. And don't forget, if you're looking for a powerful tool to help you implement, those data-driven discount campaigns, check out Growth Suite.
Yeah.
They're offering a free trial of their platform,
That's right.
and you can find them on the Shopify App Store.
Go check them out.
We'll be right back to continue our deep dive into Shopify analytics.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Conversion Bible. Before the break, we were talking about frameworks for making those data-driven decisions and avoiding that analysis paralysis.
Right.
Remember, it's all about taking action. Even small steps can lead to big results over time.
So true. And speaking of taking action, I know some of our listeners are probably thinking, okay, I've got, the basics down.
Yeah,
But I'm ready to level up my data game.
for sure.
What about those who are hungry for even more advanced insights?
Well, you're in luck. The article has a whole section on advanced analytics strategies.
Okay.
It's like unlocking those secret levels in your favorite video game.
I love that analogy. So
Yeah.
what are some of these, secret levels we can unlock?
One that really caught my eye is cohort analysis. Have you ever used that in your business?
I've heard the term,
Yeah.
but to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how it works or how I could apply it to my Shopify store.
It's actually simpler than it sounds. Think of it like grouping your customers into cohorts based on a shared characteristic.
Okay.
It could be, the month they made their first purchase, the marketing campaign that brought them to your site, or even their location.
Right.
Then you can track their behavior over time and see how different cohorts compare.
Okay, so I could see if customers who joined in January are more likely to make repeat purchases than those who joined in June.
Exactly.
Or maybe I could compare the lifetime value of customers acquired through Facebook ads
Yeah.
versus those who found me through organic search.
You got it. Cohort analysis can reveal those hidden patterns and help you make smarter decisions about, customer acquisition, retention, and even product development.
Wow.
You might discover that certain cohorts are more likely to buy certain types of products
Whoa.
or respond to specific marketing messages. It's all about understanding your customers on a deeper level.
This is really interesting. I'm
Yeah.
starting to see how powerful this could be. What other advanced tricks do we have up our sleeve?
Well, if you're feeling adventurous, you can step into the world of predictive analytics.
Predictive analytics. That sounds futuristic.
It kind of is. Imagine being able to predict your inventory needs months in advance,
Wow.
or identifying customers who are at risk of churning before they even think about leaving.
Right.
It's all about using historical data to forecast future trends.
That would be incredible. No more scrambling to restock during the holiday rush.
Yeah.
Or losing valuable customers because I didn't see the warning signs.
Exactly. And the article even mentions using predictive analytics for demand planning.
Okay.
So you can time your marketing campaigns perfectly to coincide with, those predicted spikes in demand.
Oh, wow.
It's like having a crystal ball for your business.
Okay, sign me up for Predictive Analytics 101. This is blowing my mind, but let's bring it back to the present for a moment.
Yeah.
How can we use data to better understand our customers right now?
That's where customer segmentation comes in. It's about dividing your customer base into smaller groups based on, shared characteristics. So you can tailor your marketing messages and offers to their specific needs and preferences.
So instead of sending the same generic email to everyone, I can create, targeted campaigns that actually resonate with each segment.
You got it. And one of the most powerful techniques for segmentation is RFM analysis,
Okay.
which stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value.
Okay, break that down for me. I'm all about actionable acronyms.
Imagine you have a customer who just made a purchase yesterday. They buy from you every week, and they spend a lot each time. This is your ideal customer, right?
Right.
That's what RFM analysis helps you identify your most valuable customers. But it also helps you identify those who might need a little nudge to come back.
Okay.
Like someone who hasn't purchased in a while or who usually spends less.
So I could send a special offer to those high-value customers to reward their loyalty.
Yes.
While maybe sending a different message to those who haven't purchased in a while to re-engage them.
Exactly. Segmentation is all about personalization and relevance.
Right.
The more you understand your customers, the better you can tailor, your marketing efforts to meet their needs.
This is all so valuable.
Yeah.
But, even with the best tools and techniques, it's all for nothing. If my team isn't on board with this whole data-driven culture, how do I get everyone excited about using data?
That's such an important point. It's not just about having the data. It's about using it effectively.
Right.
And making it part of, your everyday decision-making process. The article talks about building a data-driven culture within your organization, and it starts with the right people.
Right, because just throwing data at people who don't know what to do with it is a recipe for disaster. So how do I build this data dream team?
First, you need to make sure you have someone on your team who's comfortable analyzing and interpreting data.
Right.
If not, you might consider investing in training or bringing in someone with those skills. Then it's about establishing, a regular reporting cadence. Think about setting up weekly or monthly dashboards to track your key metrics. The more you make data a part of your routine, the more likely it is to inform your decisions.
And automation is our friend here.
Absolutely.
I don't want to spend all my time manually pulling reports.
There are so many tools that can automate your reporting so you can focus on, the analysis and the insights.
Right.
And another tip the article mentions is to encourage collaboration. Make sure everyone on your team, from marketing to sales to customer service, has access to the data they need and understands how it connects to their role.
It's all about breaking down those silos and making data accessible to everyone.
Exactly. And finally, remember to foster a culture of testing and optimization. Encourage your team to come up with data-backed hypotheses and then test them out.
Right.
It's all about continuous improvement, and even small tweaks can lead to big wins over time.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. I feel like I've leveled up my data knowledge for sure. We've covered so much ground already, from basic Shopify analytics to advanced strategies, and even building a data-driven culture. And let's not forget about Growth Suite. They're offering a free trial of their platform, which can help you implement those data-driven discount campaigns we talked about. You can find them on the Shopify App Store. But before we wrap things up, I'm curious to see how all of this plays out in the real world. What are some real...
Yeah, me too. The article actually includes some, really inspiring case studies that show how Shopify stores are using data to boost their conversions and drive serious growth. These stories really bring the concepts to life.
All right, let's hear them. I'm always a sucker for a good success story.
So one case study focuses on a Shopify store that was battling, high cart abandonment rates.
Oh, yeah.
Sound familiar?
Yeah, that's a common problem. But through careful analysis, they discovered that, most of the abandonments were happening at the shipping options stage of checkout.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's such a classic pain point. Unexpected shipping costs can definitely, make or break a sale.
Absolutely. So they decided to, simplify their shipping options, offering more transparent pricing and faster delivery options. And guess what?
Right.
Their conversion rate jumped by 20%.
Wow, that's a huge improvement. And all by addressing, one key friction point in the customer journey. That's the power of data and action.
Yeah.
What about the other case study?
Okay, so this one is all about, understanding customer behavior and using that knowledge to create, those laser-focused marketing campaigns.
Okay.
The store owners noticed a pattern in their sales data. They were seeing, a significant surge in purchases during those evening hours.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because people are browsing during, their downtime after work.
That's a great hypothesis, and the store owners thought so too.
Ugh.
So they decided to experiment by, shifting their ad spending to focus on those peak evening hours. The result,
What happened?
they saw a significant increase in their return on ad spend, or ROAS.
That's brilliant. It's all about aligning, your marketing efforts with your customers' actual behavior.
Yeah.
It's like speaking their language, literally.
Exactly. And the article also highlights, some industry-specific tips that I thought were really insightful.
Okay.
For example, if you're running a fashion store,
Mm-hmm.
they emphasize the importance of analyzing, return rates.
Right.
Clothing fit is a major issue. So understanding those trends can help you optimize, your product descriptions, your
Mhm.
sizing charts, and even your return policies.
That makes a lot of sense. Returns can be a real headache for fashion retailers. So anything you can do to minimize those is like a huge win.
Absolutely. And for electronics stores where customers often spend more time, researching before making a purchase,
Mm-hmm.
they recommend tracking multi-visit conversions. It's
Right.
about understanding, how many touch points it takes to convert a customer.
Right.
And which channels are most effective in driving those conversions. It's like piecing together a puzzle
Yeah.
to see the bigger picture of the customer journey.
It sounds like there's a unique set of data points to consider for each industry. What about like B2B businesses?
Yeah.
I imagine their sales cycles are quite different from, B2C.
You're right. B2B often involves longer sales cycles
Mhm.
and more complex decision-making processes.
Right.
The article highlights the importance of carefully tracking, lead nurturing in B2B. It's all about, building relationships, providing valuable content, and guiding potential customers through that sales funnel.
So it's less about like instant conversions.
Yes.
And more about building trust and demonstrating value over time.
Exactly. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
This has been such an incredible journey through the world of Shopify analytics. We've covered everything from understanding the fundamentals to exploring those advanced strategies and even examining real-world examples of data-driven success. But I can't help but wonder, what does the future hold for Shopify analytics? Any insights into that?
Well, thankfully, the article doesn't leave us hanging. It actually has a whole section dedicated to, future trends in Shopify analytics. And it's pretty exciting stuff. We're talking AI and machine learning
Okay.
advancements in predictive analytics and even more personalized shopping experiences.
AI, machine learning, that sounds like something straight out of the sci-fi movie.
Oh, I know, right? But it's quickly becoming, a reality in the world of e-commerce.
Yeah.
Imagine AI-powered tools that can automate your marketing campaigns. Wow. Personalize product recommendations and even anticipate your customers' needs before they even know them.
Wow. It's like having a personal data scientist working behind the scenes, like 24/7. But with all this advanced technology, I have to ask, what about privacy and data security? Those are big concerns for any business dealing with customer data.
You're absolutely right. And the article does address that,
Okay.
emphasizing the importance of, ethical data practices and compliance with regulations like GDPR and CCPA.
Right.
As we gather more data, it's crucial to prioritize, transparency and customer privacy. Customers should always know what data you're collecting and how you're using it.
That's a great point. It's not just about collecting data, it's about collecting it responsibly
Yes.
and using it in a way that respects your customer's privacy and builds trust.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive into the world of Shopify analytics. I feel like I've leveled up my data knowledge, for sure.
Me too. We've covered so much ground today, but the key takeaway is this. Data is your superpower. It's the key to understanding your customers, optimizing your store, and ultimately driving, more sales and conversions.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Our sponsor, Growth Suite, is offering a free trial of their platform, which can help you implement those data-driven discount campaigns we talked about. You can find them on the Shopify App Store.
It's a great tool to, get you started on your data-driven journey.
So as a final thought for our listeners, I want to leave you with this question. What's one data-driven decision you can make today to improve your Shopify store?
That's a great question to ponder. And remember, even small changes can make a big difference over time.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Conversion Bible. Until next time, happy analyzing.